You know, November the 6th is a very important day, and we'll be discussing the day today with Donna Jones on The Bernie Hayes Show. And welcome back. My guest has been here before many times. Last time she was here, she was praying for to keep New Life Evangelistic Center open downtown. And she's been a member of the elected school board for many, many years. Donna Jones is my guest. Donna, welcome back.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's great to see you again, Donna. And I know that you're running again for the school board, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, okay. I'm in the race.
Okay. I saw on Percy Green's page, his Facebook page, where he endorsed you and Joyce Roberts. And I says, man, that's Percy Green comes out, because Percy's very interested in public education himself, especially the elected school board. So once again, Donna, tell us about this race on Tuesday, November the 6th, and why it's important.
Well, I've always felt like voting was a very important activity for my community, because the way to the voting booth has been paved with blood. Mm-hmm. And so many of our people have been denied the right to vote and the opportunity. So voting November the 6th is going to be critical for the city of St. Louis, and that's one of the major reasons why I'm running, because there's a lot at risk here in the city of St. Louis when it comes to the school board.
Mm-hmm. You've been president of the school board, you've been on the school board, the elected board many times, haven't you?
I've been the vice president of the school board,
okay.
And
mm-hmm.
I've been a school board member for 12 years.
12 years, wow.
Yes, sir.
That's and you know, on Percy's flyer here it says, re-elect Donna Jones. Re-elect candidate, she has been an excellent progressive voice on the board for more than 5 years. Throughout her tenure, she has demonstrated her commitment to parents, students, and teachers of the district. Donna will continue to advocate for the return of authority to the democratically elected board to represent the true needs of the district. Student achievement is her top priority. Donna says stability and leadership starts in the classroom. She pledges to maintain the integrity of the voting public by making good, productive decisions. So tell the people who may not know the difference between the elected school board and the current school board.
Right now, we have two school boards. Mm-hmm. The Special Administrative Board is comprised of Richard Gaines, Dornetta Klingscale, and Rick Sullivan.
Okay.
And those people represent the president of the Board of Aldermen. That would be Richard Gaines. Dornetta Klingscale, she would represent the mayor's office. And Rick Sullivan, he would represent the governor's office. Okay. So those three entities currently represent St. Louis City Schools.
But we're hoping and praying perhaps that the elected board will be the authority that will be running the school boards in the future.
Absolutely, mm-hmm. Because having an elected body is so very important, because it represents our people. It's the people's voice. Mm-hmm. And without that, you really have no democracy here in the city of St. Louis at this time. And right now we have 38 new charter schools.
I've never understood how you and the other elected members were elected to the school board, and yet still three others run the board. That to me is unbelievable.
I do. I understand mm-hmm. what happened, because I've had the opportunity to sit inside mm-hmm. of these closed meetings. So I understood that there was always some type of plan going on to privatize public education dollars. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this is all about the privatization of public education dollars.
And that's very important to you, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's important now, because as a taxpayer, as a parent, as someone who lives in the community, as a community activist, and someone who loves the children in our community, I feel that we have a right. We have a right to have a say-so about what's going on with our children. Our children are dying in the streets right now. Mm-hmm. And people want to know, why are they not getting the services that they need in St. Louis Public, and why are the schools being dismantled?
Okay. What would you do to help the situation, to make public schools education better?
What I would do, the
mm-hmm.
first
and
thing,
will do, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What I will do
mm-hmm.
is make sure to create policies that push more resources into the classroom.
Okay.
That we have teachers in the classroom that are qualified and experienced, because I noticed that the more successful school districts have teachers that have a lot of years in the district. And right now, I understand that a lot of teachers the pay equity is not the same. A lot of them are not being paid what they're worth. And that's real important. And it's real important that the teachers have all the necessary resources that they need in the classroom, and the modernization of our buildings as well. Because to me, it's important when a child goes into a classroom that they feel welcome, that the classrooms are warm, they're inviting, that they have all the books, all the computers, everything that they need to be successful and feel like they're important.
You mentioned the number of charter schools. Do you see the St. Louis Board of Education headed toward that way to make the system all charter, or what?
Absolutely. At this time, the truth is, and out of transparency, what I noticed back in 2006 is that we were outsourcing a lot of our services. And what they have created now is going to be something called a consortium. And what we're looking at, the SAB has created something.
SAB meaning?
The Special Administrative Board is contemplating, and they have put together and have been working on for years, a way to, they're going to take half of the schools away and create their own school district. It's called a consortium.
Wow.
And it will be run by not-for-profits.
And these are not educators?
These are not educators. These are people who have special interests.
These are business people.
These are business people.
Wow.
That probably have been promised a school. And they have, right now, they've gotten 38 of them. And if they get half of this almost 70 schools that St. Louis Public School has, then I think we'll be in real dire straits. We're going to be in trouble.
In crisis, huh?
We are.
I noticed you and Joyce Roberts is also, you two, not running as a team, but you're supporting each other.
Absolutely.
Joyce will be here very, very soon, too. She'll be one of my guests. And I noticed that Percy Graydon and Joyce endorsed both of you, Donna Jones and Joyce M. Roberts. Donna, the last time you were here, as I mentioned earlier when we opened the show, you were here as a supporter of New Life Evangelistic Center. You were one of the people who were supporting Larry Rice, and you've been supporting the New Life Evangelistic Center for many, many years, and understood that it was very personal for you all the time.
It was very personal. As a person who had the opportunity to work for a not-for-profit, I was a lead inspector as well as someone who would go into people's homes. And I saw a lot of homeless families, a lot of homeless children. And just because you don't see the children laying in the street or sitting on the curb does not mean they're homeless. There are a lot of families that are living together that don't have anywhere to go. So it's real important to me. Currently, they're saying there are at least 6,000 homeless children in the city of St. Louis, but I tell you, there are way more than that. Yeah.
And it shows your character, and it shows your heart. And I know that you are very deeply religious and so forth. And how is your faith playing a part in this school board election?
It's playing a tremendous part, because I had to pray on it. Because the forces of evil are real. There are people that only care about money that are in this race and that are behind this effort to divide and conquer the district. Yeah. And to me, I consider them very dangerous people. And the reason why I say that is because the schools are the foundation of a community. And when you destroy the schools, you destroy a community. And right now, I live in a community that is traumatized. And it's very troublesome to me to turn on the news and look at so many of our young people that are getting shot, killed, and that are in trouble and distress. And they are the forgotten ones. So that tells me that I don't think God would be ignoring what's going on here in the street. And that I had to pray very seriously hard about being in this campaign, because I was asking God to keep me covered.
So Tuesday, November the 6th is the date. And it shows that Donna Jones and Joyce M. Roberts are the first two names on the voting ballot in the St. Louis Board of Education, for the St. Louis Board of Education. Now, that's amazing. There it is, Tuesday, November the 6th, 2018, and that's going to be a very important day for you again. And what would you say tell the people why they should come out and vote for you?
Well, right now, if you're a person that lives in the city of St. Louis or anywhere in the metropolitan area, coming out to vote is critical, because right now the schools are going to shape the future of the city of St. Louis. And we have so many people in the community that are forgotten. And if you come out and vote, you'll have an opportunity to voice your opinion, to have a say-so in the future shaping of a place where that can be fantastic for everyone. And that's what we want. When everybody makes it, we all are going to be great.
This is great. My guest is Donna M. Jones. She's a candidate for re-election to the St. Louis School Board, elected school board. And perhaps you didn't even notice this mug I'm so very, very proud of on the table here. I want you to have one. And I'm so very, very proud of what Reverend Larry Rice will say about this mug right now.
For many years, Bernie Hayes has been on the front lines leading the charge for social justice. It's been a great privilege of mine to get to know Bernie personally, and I want us, in celebration of all that Bernie has done, to share with you one of these very special Bernie Hayes mugs and a copy of a book, Through the Fires, which tells you about the battle for social justice at 1411 Locust, where gentrifiers came into the neighborhood and literally shut down the church at the New Life Evangelistic Center at 1411 Locust Street because they didn't want those kind of people in the neighborhood. Direct bigotry. Now, if you'll request this mug and share a gift of $25 or more, we'll send you this book, 328 pages that go into great detail on all the manipulating behind the scenes and on the scenes that took place in order for the city of St. Louis to consider it a nuisance because there were hurting and homeless people in the neighborhood. We would love to see a beloved community, that when development takes place in a community, instead of the poor and the elderly and the homeless being pushed out, it's a beloved community that welcomes people from all over, regardless of their racial background or who they might be. They're people made in the image of God. Bernie Hayes has fought for that for years. And now we're teaming up with Bernie in a very special and powerful way. If you'll just call in our 421-302, or you can send your special gift and just say, please send me the Bernie Hayes mug. We will include in that Through the Fire, historical book that I've written on how the St. Louis gentrifiers tried to destroy a church because of its homeless congregations. You know, there's a common saying that if your neighbor's house on fire, yours in danger also. The bigotry, the hypocrisy in the city of St. Louis affects all of us. I thank God for Bernie, who has continued to point it out and root it out. Now we're teaming up with Bernie. When you request the Bernie Hayes mug and share a gift of $25 or more to New Life Evangelistic Center, I'll include my book, Through the Fire. We'd love to hear from you. Share now, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri.
And I want to thank Reverend Larry Rice for those wonderful and kind words, and I sincerely hope that you will send for a mug, the Bernie Hayes Show mug, and receive that book. Post Office Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, 63166. Now, my guest, Donna R. Jones. Donna, they can reach you on Facebook, can't they?
Yes, they can.
And how else can they reach you? Do you have a website?
Yes, I do. It's not quite complete, but anyway, it would be Donna R. Jones for slps.com.
Okay, but by the time this airs, I'm sure it's up and running now.
It will be.
Yeah, sure, it's up and running now. So once again, what is it?
Donna R. Jones for
the letter 4, right? The numeral 4.
Yes, the number 4.
Okay.
slps.com.
Okay. And it's Tuesday, November the 6th.
Absolutely.
To the school board. Re-elect. Donna, that's a non-paying position. You know, and it's a time-consuming position. Why are you doing it?
It is. It's a sacrifice, but why am I doing it? I ask myself that, but like I said, when I drive around my neighborhood and I look at the families and I look at the moms and the dads and the children, I realize I'm doing it because I love my community. And I want to see all my community prosper because I realize I'm nothing unless everybody in my neighborhood is something as well. And it's important. It's important to have diversity on that board. It's important for parental involvement. It's important to be an example. It's important to be a voice in the community for those that can't speak. And I've learned in so many instances that if you don't speak when you have an opportunity, others will speak for you. And that's something that we can't have anymore because far too many times I see persons in the community pushed to the side, and they don't have an opportunity to say anything.
Do you have any input at all? The elected board, you elected officials, have any input on the special appointed board, on their policies and their direction for the schools?
We have not. Over the years, we have actually begged. We've sent letters and asked if we could participate, and we were denied the opportunity to participate with the Special Administrative Board. We were sent a letter a few years back indicating that we were not to interact with the staff of St. Louis Public Schools. So we were denied a lot of opportunity to find out exactly what was going on in the district. We weren't able to access the people that are running the district. So we are now in training. That training costs $52,000.
Wow.
Some monies that could have been spent on students as well as teachers.
I know this is a republic, but you were elected to the board. In the democratic form of government, you know, those who elected you and the other elected members should be running the board. They voted for you to run the school board, right? Why are not the elected officials running the school board?
I understand why they're not, and that's why I keep telling people, ever since I got on the board, I saw what was going on back in 2006 when they started talking about the takeover. There is really a dismantling of public education here in St. Louis for charters, for the privatization of public dollars, and that's the reason why we have a special administrative board. They are there to look after the business interests or the business community and private interests and big money. If there were not over $400 million at stake here, we probably would have a St. Louis public school run by an elected board where people could have a voice if there was no money. But this is about money, and this is about big contract. This is not about the children at this particular moment.
I remember when Roberti came in and just destroyed the St. Louis Public School Board, destroyed the St. Louis Public Schools, you know, and I just sincerely hope that the people will get out on November the 6th and vote for you and Joyce Roberts and make the elected board viable.
Well, this is what I want to remind people as well. You have to look at, I'm just going to use my own neighborhood.
Sure.
I live in Walnut Park. And I recently, just within a month, I saw where someone had gone up on top of Walnut Park School and destroyed the roof, the slate roof.
Wow.
And the roof was in pretty good shape. And I took a tour of the inside of the building, and it was in okay shape, fixable and what have you. It could be utilized again and up and running. But someone is actively destroying St. Louis Public Schools. Someone tore the fence away from Beaumont. There's a lot of destruction going on. There was a fire, I think, at one of the local high schools that's closed. So the property that St. Louis Public Schools sits on is very, very valuable. So you're going to see a lot of craziness going on where people are destroying the property so they can take it over and buy it.
So elected board, how many members are there on the elected board?
Right now, there's 7 members on the board. There's 7 members, and we are trying to work together to bring about policy change. And right now, we don't have a definitive date. Even though we went through the task force meetings and what have you, after meeting with some of the members from the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, we were told that maybe, just maybe, you might have a voice in June of 2019, depending on how you behave, if you all know how to work together. And I thought that was really a slap in the face to the public.
I was hearing rumors that this elected board might be taking over very, very soon. So how do we get true information? How do we get good information? Should we attend the school board meetings or what?
You should. Everyone should be attending. I mean, the boardroom has basically been empty, and people have not been coming out to find out what's really going on, and they should be. But right now, the plans are just basically finalized. I think they're working on legislation to present in January to finalize everything. So as a board member, I just basically feel like there's no definitive date, even though people are saying the board is going to come back. I'm running, and I'm running on hopes and prayers that the right thing will happen. But according to some of the DESE members, if we don't behave, and we're the only board in the state of Missouri that's being required to take these additional courses. And they're saying if we don't finish these courses and we don't behave, then we more than likely won't get the board back.
How do they justify you being elected to the school board and not being able to administrate? That I still can't understand.
To me, it's all about being a puppet. If these outside entities can't control you, then that's a problem for them. And I'm going to tell you, as a board member, my first priority will be our children and our teaching staff.
Great.
Our staff will be number one priority in every policy decision that's going to be made. It won't be big business. It won't be anything else. All of those things are important, and it's important to be able to work with people. It's very important, but the first things first, and that's going to be our children,
Great.
and to make sure they're okay.
Donna Jones is my guest. She's a candidate for re-election to the school board. She's also supporting Joyce Roberts, who will also be here to support her in a couple of weeks. And but we're talking about the November 6th election for the St. Louis elected school board. Elected school board. Elected school board. I'm Bernie Hazen. We're at the New Life Evangelistic Center. Donna Jones was just our guest just before they closed the 1411 location, and she prayed and she joined and she walked with Reverend Rice and so many others. But she knows the importance of the New Life Evangelistic Center. And we sincerely hope that you know the importance also, because the same services that were provided down there are now provided here, 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. We need you to come by and bring water. We need you to come by and bring food and clothing for those in need. We need you to help us support them financially. You may do so online at New Life Evangelistic Center. That's one word. newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. And it takes less than 2 minutes by MasterCard, Visa, American Express, or Discover. Back with Donna Jones after this.
You can help New Life Evangelistic Center break the cycle of homelessness by providing monies for Metrolink tickets. It's absolutely essential at this time. New Life Evangelistic Center is providing hundreds of Metrolink tickets every week to homeless people so they can get to their jobs, so they can get to their doctor appointments, so they can find a place to sleep at nights. Will you please share your much-needed tax-deductible gift with the New Life Evangelistic Center? Every $30 you provide enables New Life to get 10 of the Metrolink tickets. And you can send those gifts now to the New Life Evangelistic Center at P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166. These individuals are having to walk so far at this moment, and a Metrolink ticket means so very much. And not only does New Life Evangelistic Center desire to provide for the homeless throughout the greater St. Louis area, but also throughout the Springfield community. Your gifts are very much needed at this time. It's New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166. Thank you for praying, caring, and sharing at this moment.
We'll return to our guests after this Black History moment. Today's subject is Emmett Till. The brutal 1955 murder of teenager Emmett Till and the news coverage it drew helped ignite the civil rights movement in America in the 1950s. Exactly what Emmett Till, a 14-year-old African-American boy, said or did to offend Carolyn Bryant, a 21-year-old white woman working in a Mississippi grocery store that August day, is still unclear. This prompted Bryant's husband, store owner Roy Bryant, and his half-brother, J.W. Milam, to abduct and kill Emmett Till and throw his body in the river. An open casket funeral and news pictures of Emmett Till's disfigured face caused worldwide news coverage of the case, in which an all-white jury acquitted the killers. After the trial, Roy Bryant and Milam, now immune from further persecution, confessed the killing to the magazine Look. The case was reopened 50 years later, and Emmett Till's body was exhumed by an autopsy. But the FBI announced in 2006 that it would not file federal charges, and a grand jury refused to indict in 2007. Emmett Till.
Now you can take NLEC TV anywhere as you put the NLEC TV app on your iPhone or mobile device. NLEC TV is an innovative TV station that's on the cutting edge of community service. When you tune in to NLEC TV, you'll discover a television station that has been operated by previously homeless individuals who've received broadcast training through New Life Evangelistic Center's unique on-the-job training program. On NLEC TV, you'll discover wholesome family, community, renewable energy, and inspirational programming. Those needing energy assistance, food, clothing, or freedom from the cycle of homelessness will find that plus much more on NLEC TV. Now, you can receive NLEC TV by going to 24.2 on your television set or putting the NLEC TV app on your iPhone or mobile device. For further information, call 314-436-2424 or go to nlecstl.org. That's nlecstl.org.
And welcome back. My guest is Donna Jones. She's running for re-election for the St. Louis Public School Board. And there are two boards. There's an elected board, and there's this special appointed board. The special appointed board is now running the St. Louis Public Schools, but the St. Louis elected officials, those who've been elected to the board, are within hope and prayer that they'll be take control again to show this public school the direction that it should go, in their opinion. Donna, anything I didn't ask you about that you perhaps want to say?
I think there might have been a question about why are we still having elections if the elected board is not empowered.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Bob
think,
Dimler brought that up.
yeah. So to me, I think it's important that we have the election because a lot of people across the state are watching, and I've been reminded by the National School Board Association administration that they're watching to see what's going on because they understand as well as I understand and many in the community that we are the national experiment for the takeover of public education. And to me, the reason why we must continue to have an election and why it's probably still going on is that they don't want to alarm the public here any more than necessary, that they're being used as part of an experiment.
Wow.
So,
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, because if people actually knew that St. Louis Public School students were being part of a national experiment, then they wouldn't probably be so brazen to continue on as they have.
You know, I must give each of you proper respect because you want to continue this, I don't know if it's called a fight, but I know you're persistent and this tenacity to become a member of the elected board because you have hope and vision for the children. And you've always expressed that. And everybody else that I've mentioned on the elected board, that seems to be your vision.
The most important thing to me for a board candidate, regardless to the number of degrees they might have or the PhD, is their dedication to our children. We have lots of boards in this country, all type of boards, but the main focus has to be on whatever their goal is. And my goal is to make sure our children are going to be A-OK in this society. So any person that's running for St. Louis Public Schools should have that as their main objective, that St. Louis Public Schools must not be dismantled because the schools represent the city.
Do you are looking for volunteers to help? Can they reach you if anyone needs to help you?
They can call me. They can call me at, and this is not, this is my personal phone, and that's 314-800-3418, but that number is going to change. That is not my campaign number at this particular time. So look me up on Facebook. They can reach me personally.
Okay.
And that number is published.
And on Facebook, you're Donna R. Jones, right?
On Facebook, I'm Donna R. Jones. Yes.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming back, Donna R. Jones.
Thank
to New
you.
Life Evangelistic Center. Bob Dimler, Larry Rice, and everybody else here really appreciate you and have been appreciative for many, many years.
Thank you. And I just want to ask and make sure that everyone understands to come out and vote. And please give me your vote on November the 6th.
Thank you. Donna R. Jones.
Thank you.
And thank you for viewing us again, and thank you for supporting the New Life Evangelistic Center. I'm Bernie Hayes. Have a great day.